Hello everybody, thanks for tuning in today. So today we're going to talk about something a little different. We've talked a lot about exercise, talked a lot about nutrition, and we're going to go ahead and just dive into some of the mental shifts that we may need to take and some of those mindset things. So just to get going into it, it's like we all are usually gung-ho, ready to dive into something new, and it's fun when you first start. It's fun when you buy a new piece of equipment or you just got a new bike and you're out there riding every day for the first couple weeks. But then, you know, it that shininess kind of just wears off pretty quick, and we need to be able to still keep ourselves engaged, and we can't just keep buying new things and trying new things all the time. Sometimes we need to be consistent, and we know that it takes consistency and time for us to get adaptation. And so what are we going to do? Because life is busy and it can be really stressful. And how are we going to handle all of our obligations? How are we going to take care of all these things within life and make sure that we're still working on our nutrition, we're still exercising, and not getting overwhelmed with all the burden of all these things that we need to do? And so the first thing I like to think about is, throw perfection out the window and try not to be perfect. We already know there's no perfect meal plan, there's no perfect exercise program, there's nothing in this world that is really perfect that we can create. We just don't have that ability. So we can go ahead and set that aside from our mindset and allow ourselves a little bit of space to mess up. Give ourselves the freedom to have error and to have a day where I'm mentally exhausted. I've pushed myself mentally, and I can't do the full workout. Give yourself the freedom to just do some movement, but it doesn't have to be so stressful. And tomorrow you can come in and you can hit that workout. And giving yourself that space and allowing yourself the freedom, you don't have to miss the workout. You can postpone it, right? And you're going to still be able to move towards your goal. And ultimately that's what it's about. And not setting yourself up with this mental stressor now, oh, I have to do this workout, it's Wednesday and I have to get it done. And then you're burnout and your workout isn't as good as it could have been if you had better mental energy and you weren't worn out from all the stress of your regular life. And you could have just went for a walk on Wednesday and did Wednesday's workout on Thursday and been okay with that. You didn't miss the workout, it's postponed. It's not going to ruin your workout schedule. It's not going to ruin your week. It might not be Wednesday's workout on Wednesday, but you look at your workout week instead of looking at it as each individual day, and you allow yourself some space. It alleviates some of that burden, and we don't need that burden. We all already have enough stress from external factors to not create these burdens on ourselves. Some things that I think are really useful is to learn a spiritual practice. So I personally am a Christian, and I like to pray, I like to meditate, I like to read scripture. Those things help me. I don't force that on people. I think it's important to have a practice, though, to where you can have space to take it easy and where you can just let go of that stress. And meditation is not just for Christians, and it's not just for monks, it's not just for any group of people that likes to do it. Yogis do it, and not all of them have any other spiritual practice, but there is something profound and extremely beneficial to the mind to meditate, and we're actually seeing science that backs this up now, and how they're doing brain scans on monks, and they're able to just settle their thoughts and settle some of that noise, and then they can take their focus and put it on what they want to and choose to. And having a practice is really helpful. And same with breathing. Breathing is a great way for us to just settle down some of that energy and get some of that just stress to just fizzle out a little bit, so we can have a little bit more clarity, and we can decide what we want to do. And maybe we go ahead and do a little breathing practice, and we realize, hey, I'm doing some body checks here, and I'm not physically in the place to put in another hard workout. And it's okay. Go for a walk, take a power walk, and just cruise along, or do a little light jog, or ride the bike, whatever it is you like to do. Maybe you want to go for a swim instead of lift that day. Whatever it is, allow yourself that freedom, and give yourself the space, and it'll just make it a lot easier on yourself. That's a great thing. Starting off with a spiritual practice, or breathing exercise, meditation. I love to talk about that stuff. I think it's really helpful. I don't push it on people, but it's a real thing. And then I like to think about having a good circle. So create a social network of people who have similar goals, have similar desires, and people that are not going to beat you up on days when you don't feel like working out. People you can lean on, and say, hey man, I am not motivated for this run today, or I don't feel like lifting today. Having somebody that you can talk to about that kind of stuff is really, really important. And you can utilize a coach for that. Utilize your training buddy, whoever it is that can relate, because we all experience that. We all experience days where we show up and we realize, man, I am spent, and I'm not able to do what I expected myself to do, and be okay with that, because if you beat yourself up over it, it's only going to make it harder on yourself, and we want to be able to alleviate the burden, and we want to get where we want to go with grace, and not with such a struggle. And there's going to be some struggle. There's going to be days where it's hard, and you got to get yourself through them, and those days are going to come. Be ready for them, but also have a plan. Have a plan for people you can fall back on. Have a plan for just meditation or breathing, and just to know that there are things you can do. You don't have to just be like, oh, I hate life right now. You can do other things to just kind of change your perspective and help you see things from a more positive aspect. And just remember, it's about the progress, and it's not perfection. Progress, not perfection. That's the biggest thing, because what we're looking for is just a little better, and better is better. And that's the reality of it. So we want to just make sure that we are thinking about, okay, well, a month ago, 2 months ago, I wasn't able to do this, or I was feeling this type of way about exercise. I didn't even want to start 6 months ago, and now look what I've gotten done. Better is better, and that's what it's about. Progress, not perfection. Thank you all for tuning in today. Hope you all have a wonderful week.